BeTheTalk, episode 317, featuring Beth Montgomery. Welcome to BeTheTalk. We go behind the talk 7 days a week for tips and techniques to help you change the world. I'm Nathan Eckel, and a talker myself. I'm interviewing others who change the world with their talk. You can too, even if you've never given a talk before. Let's get started with today's show. We are live with Beth Montgomery again. Beth, are you ready to talk?
I am so ready to talk, Nathan.
Beth Montgomery is a motivated motivator who enjoys helping others. Her children fuel her fire to make the world a better place. She is a commercial insurance agent and CPR instructor as her professional career. Beth Montgomery, welcome to the talk again.
Thank you, Nathan, for having me again.
Your talk is called Life's Lessons They Don't Teach You in Driver's Ed. The last time that we brought you on, and I think what we may have done is put you back to back here. So in our last episode, when we left our Beth HERE here, she was about to give her talk. And what happened in the meantime is, frankly, my bat phone rang after I got back from a vacation, and they said, "Hey, you want to MC?" And I said, "This is happening in 2 days. I already have the ticket to see Beth and everybody else." And Joe was, Cursillo was at that event speaking, closing it out. And they said, "Well, you want to MC?" And I said, "Well, let me think about it." And I said, "Sure." And then we got to see Beth's talk, and I got to introduce Beth on the stage, which I had no idea I was going to get to do. And then the best part of the whole thing is Beth absolutely slayed in that talk. You did such a great job. Now, so we talked about a little bit about your preparation in the last interview. What was it actually like? Just bring us up to the moment where we're kind of giggling backstage because of how, Dusty and Muppet Show backstagey it looks like. And then I get to introduce you, not interview you, introduce you on the stage. And then we just kind of tag teamed. You went out there. Bring us into that moment.
Okay, so the moments up before I went up on stage, it was probably the most nerve-wracking moments of my entire life. I'm back there doing my breathing exercises, doing the tongue like you can't see on the podcast, but when you stick your tongue out and you open your mouth up wide, it loosens up your jaw because I was clenching my jaw, just breathing deep. And then all of a sudden I hear Nathan call my name. And we had been having some technical difficulties with the teleprompter.
I forgot about that. The clicker had about a 70% fail rate.
Oh my gosh. Well, the other two people that went before me, the first one, he was just phenomenal, out of this world. The second one, she was just amazing, had her speech memorized. She was great. And then the teleprompter issue. And I had it memorized to the point where, it is my story, so I knew about what I wanted to talk about, and I had listened to it like over and over and over and over and over, but I had my notes in my hand, and I remember handing them to you, Nathan, and I said, "Nathan, if I can't do this, you have to hand me the notes." And as soon as I walked out there, I saw that the clicker didn't work, and I said, "Excuse me." I got the notes, and I just needed that paper. So the guys out there were helping push those slides along, but oh my goodness. Once you get up on that stage and you see everyone's face and you are out there and you're breathing and everyone's there to listen to your idea, it's a surreal experience.
Well, it really is. And for those of us with a performing artist background, when you walk out on stage, you get to the point, if you do enough performances, you get to the point where you expect to be, like the 70s song, Blinded by the Light. I think that's 70s, or was it early 80s? I don't know. Blinded by the light. You expect to be blinded by the light, but in this venue, again, it's a special venue. You're not blinded by the light. You see all your friends there. You see all your fans there. You see all the sponsors there. There they are. And so it's a little bit of different kind of stage awareness when you walk out, especially if you expect to just see bright light, but you can actually see all the people in there. So was that so much of an issue for you, or is it just it is what it was?
No, I love connecting with my audience. When I do my CPR classes, I'm up there talking for a while, so I can, make eye contact, do some jokes, really have a connection. But with the TED Talk, it is such so quick and it goes by in a blink of an eye, and you know that it's being recorded and it's going to be sent out to YouTube land, and it's going to be out there forever as a digital imprint. So there's that whole like mindset in the back of your mind that you have to say your idea in such a way that people will understand and it'll resonate.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you got your notes. The person that you entrusted your notes to was actually there to hand the notes back to you. And that was funny to hear your side of the notes, because it was like I had to hand those things right back to you. Well, it's because we have clicker issues and everything else. At what point, and I'm getting real meta here and real specific, but was there a point at which, you start really leaning into the talk and really enjoying your time up there? Or was it kind of, showtime and performance and pressure and you got to do it and the greater good and suck it up? Or was there a pivot point where you really leaned into it and enjoyed it?
Once I had that safety blanket in my hand, I was so ready. I was ready to go. Because the talk is so personal to my life and my dad was sitting out in the audience, it was really cool to see his face in there and see him proud and to really get into it and portray my idea out there.
Cool stuff. Well, let's talk about this. And we may have talked about this last time, but how did you get accepted? So talk about the process.
I applied last year at the TED Talk. When you talked, I said, okay, that's it. I love TEDx Talks. I love TED Talks. I want to be involved. Someday I'm going to be up on that stage, but maybe someday when I grow up.
Someday.
Or I get to be that someday.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar about the sorrow and the pain, right? Tomorrow. Yeah. It's only a day away.
Well, tomorrow happened.
Awesome.
I talked to the organizers and I was so bent on helping out for this year's event. I said, I just want to, do the name tags. I want to check people in. I just want to, whatever you need, I'm here. And I got this email and it said, do you have any ideas? And I said, I got lots of ideas. So I just type it in. I'm thinking in my head that I'm not going to get accepted because one, I'm not a public speaker, or I'm not an expert in digital science or AI like some of the others are, So when I did that, I just spoke from my heart. And what really matters to me, that's innovative, because that was the theme. What is your innovative idea? And the first thing I could think of was, life lessons that I didn't learn in driver's ed. My dad taught me, and he correlated life lessons to driving on the road because that's where we bonded. So not even thinking that I was going to get accepted, just putting it out there, going through the motions and, just trying it out. That's the whole point. If you don't try, you won't know. You won't do it. And got an email back saying that I was accepted for the final interviews, and then I was accepted for the talk. And it was like a whirlwind. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. And Talk Universe, if you're listening to this, it's easy to miss what Beth said. So, one of the best strategies that you can employ, if you say, just like Beth did, hey, I don't want to do this next time, but I want to do this sometime. And Beth is so awesome. She's such an action taker that it doesn't take long for someday to become like today and actually take action. But she was connected with the teams. She was connected with the organizers. She was a real effective champion. Her social media, all of the things that she did even a year ago, she was already very well connected even a year ago. And that's one of the best things that you can do. There's one of these events going on in your town, in your city. If you live in a super rural area, you might have to drive for an hour, but there are a whole bunch of these things happening. There are TEDx's all around me. I found out there was one at the college 2 miles down the street from me a couple of months ago that I didn't even know about. So there are these things happening all the time, and all you have to do really is kind of just be known and let people know you're a person of value, that you're someone that adds value to people, that you go in there, you buy a ticket, you support it, you try it out that way. and you just get involved. And then what a great way to reach out. Hey, I'd like to do name tags. I'd like to do demonstrations or whatever. And they might just up level you, a little bit.
Well, I want to say too, I don't think that was the reason why they chose me, because the application process I was really curious about. And they just had the list of ideas with the paragraph, and they just laid them out, and the selection team that wanted to choose signed their names or their initials on the ideas that they liked. So it wasn't the fact that I knew them.
Wow.
It was more the fact that they liked the idea, which made it a lot more real for me. That my idea was worth sharing, and that you are sitting on, who was the first one that was on the Be the Talk today? What is her name? Her name escapes me. Lauren? Yeah,
Lauren back, an hour ago. I can't remember. You're putting me on the spot. I can't remember. I'm in the moment. I'm being present.
Well, she had made that comment, like not.
We had Kathy. Kathy was up first.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kathy, Karen. I'm so sorry. But the funny thing is, last year for that TED Talk, that was my first networking event where I really got into the relationship building of the professional life. And I think the most important thing to do is just create relationships that are bonded through friendships and common ground. So if you keep your inner circle and your circle around you where you want to be or what makes you grow, that's where you're going to find the most growth.
Yeah, well, so how powerful is that? So I didn't even realize. So it was the same blind selection process, merit-based, and it never hurts to know the people and to be a person of value, all of those things. How even better is it when you submit an idea and you found out that the committee actually upvoted it? Which is what happened here. So congratulations to you, Beth. We're gonna come back with the final word of advice from Beth Montgomery in just a moment. Her talk is called Life Lessons They Don't Teach You in Driver's Ed. And, because she, could not talk about it in our last episode, now we can include a link to that talk. It's going to go live probably in a couple of weeks now, maybe another month out, but we will upload that and we will include that, as well as we're going to include a link to Beth's LinkedIn page so that you can connect with her as well. And you can find that on our show notes page at BeTheTalk.com. In a moment, we'll be right back with Beth Montgomery for the final word of advice. Hey, Talk Universe, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you want to give the talk to change the world, but you don't know how or even where to start, no problem at all. Go to BeTheTalk.com/get accepted for my new 5-day email course that'll show you how. Absolutely free. Just go to BeTheTalk.com/get accepted. And it's time for the final word of advice. Beth, what is it?
My final word of advice is just go with what your heart says. Just do it. And if you have any sort of passion or any sort of inkling or it excites you deep down inside, do it. Because you don't want to live life thinking, what if? I want you to live life knowing that you did everything that you can and have grown to the point where you can look back and say, I did try that really weird thing, but I'm glad I did because it led me here. Do it.
Beth Montgomery, thank you so much. Congratulations on being on the talk and your amazing talk and sharing your wisdom with Talk Universe today.
Thank you so much, Nathan. It is always a pleasure and honor.
Thanks for listening to Be the Talk. For tips and resources to help you change the world, go to BeTheTalk.com. See you tomorrow.